Painting with Watercolor by watercolor artist and art instructor Jerome L. Vaden. Philosophy of an artist. The history of watercolor. Materials. Drawing, the foundation of watercolor. The drawing exercise 1. Watercolor exercise 1. And we'll go over some glossary terms. Philosophy of an artist. 1 hour a day minimum should be dedicated to art, whether it's drawing or painting, reading or practicing a new technique, or looking for a subject matter or visiting an art gallery. I always concentrate on what makes my subjects look real. What makes your painting experience enjoyable? Listen to music, prepare some food, and be creative. Always try new things. Educate yourself. Study art and share with others about your ideals and work out problems with friends and other artists. The history of watercolor. This is Jerome L. Vaden, artist and art instructor. Man has been writing and illustrating books for 3,500 years. Watercolor dates back to the banks of the Nile in Egypt, where scrolls were used to write and illustrate history, science, magic, and religion. 1,000 years later, around 170 BC, parchment or paper was used for the first time. Watercolor did not gain recognition until the 18th century. It was used as a first draft for an oil painting and remained that way almost 300 years. When the English toured Rome in the 18th century and brought back 2 color pictures as souvenirs, it occurred to one artist to enhance them with color. Watercolor societies began to appear in England and America, and with successful watercolors in France around 1881, the use of watercolors spread throughout Europe and the rest of the world. The 19th century saw watercolor grow in the direction of greater color, light, and a brighter palette. Also, the first abstract painting in art history was painted in watercolor. The 20th century was an innovative time for watercolor because it was used to imitate oil. Different techniques are now used, such as wax, masking fluid, turpentine, salt, and spray guns to achieve various effects. Materials. Materials you'll be using is paper. It's 100% rag, fine grain, medium grain, coarse, or rough. The heavier the weight or pounds specified, the thicker the paper. Weights can range from 80 to 300 pounds. Paper should be attached to a thin wooden board using tape. This process is called stretching, and it allows the paper to dry flat after the paint is applied. Paint. Paint comes in pans, tubes, or jars. It's a mistake to assume you should always use the most expensive. Pans are the easiest paints to use and transport. Brushes. Brushes can be sable hair, ox hair, mongoose, or squirrel. Synthetic or man-made are inexpensive, and sable is the most costly. Other materials include a 2-quart water container, pencils, erasers, rulers, tape, sponges, salt, staples, and paper towels. Studio space. Studio space can be simply made up of good lighting, a high-back chair, an easel or drawing board slanted at an angle, resting in your lap, or on the edge of the table. A small table can also be used to hold a water container, your paint, and all your necessary equipment.